formally declared that Delta State is now an APC state. Oh, Gaga. Hey, what's your take on that?
In all fairness, I think that this sounds very strange to the ears of many since democracy came into existence in Nigeria, like you rightly stated. Because the truth is, normally when you hear Delta State is one of the states that is synonymous with the PDP, like has been a stronghold of the PDP, and now Delta is APC. So I think it will take a couple of time for people to catch up with that phrase. Delta is APC, but it is what it is. And initially, when the news broke, I think that was Wednesday last week, it was met with mixed reactions.
That's right.
Of course, some persons are like, why? And some persons like, we saw this coming. Some persons are like, is this really the best decision to make? Some persons are like, okay, this is the right decision. So it's just mixed reactions. But the truth is, time will tell if this is the right decision or not. Because, of course, time unveils truth and all of that. So, congratulations to the All Progressives Congress, because it's a win for them. That's the truth. And different spokespersons, they've been talking, and that even the vice president himself will be live in Asaba, Delta State, for this event to accept the defectors to the APC. It tells you how huge it is for them. And even the Minister of Aviation, especially Mr. Festus Kiamu, has also been speaking excited. The presidential spokesperson, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, they've all been speaking and giving it major attention that is needed and all of that. So, for the party, talking about the PDP and the structure to move to the APC, now it begs the question, what is happening in the PDP? What is happening in the PDP?
Yes, PDP has actually been bedeviled with a catalog of problems, if you ask me, because at a point, the issue of the Secretary General, the Secretary, who happens to be the engine room, the hub of the party, they would start having issues back and front and back and all of that. So that was one major. And they also had problems too with the chairmanship. At the point, they never wanted the current chairman, Damagon, to be there. And it was not too good. Recently, there was a need for them to say, okay, let's have a coalition. Because, you see, for you to destroy any ruling party, right, you don't just win it as an entity. Do you understand? For APC to have even come on board in the first place, to push PDP out of the street, they came as a coalition. You understand? And that is the only way you can pull down any structure.
But some persons will also argue maybe that's at the national level. But at the state level, it's quite different.
Yes,
so
yes.
That can be a strong argument that at the state level, do you necessarily have to cross carpet to the ruling party at the center? Because, for example, Edo State had the PDP.
Yes.
But they took power. The so-called ruling party as at 2023 was the APC. But the PDP still won Delta State as at then.
Yes.
So that could be another angle. But also, in often as a former, because now we have to now start saying former PDP members of Delta State. A couple of spokespersons have spoken out also. I'm talking about the Commissioner for Rural Works and Public Information, Charles Anyagu. He has spoken, giving his reason. Even one of the founding fathers of the PDP in Delta State, Senator James Manager, giving his take. Even the Director General of Delta State Communication Orientation and Bureau, they've given their perspective. And also, one of the points that they raised is also in line with what Minister Wike of the FCT was talking about during his media party when he was interfacing with journalists, and there was a FCT, one of the council chairman of the FCT, and all of that, that said he was going to run. He said it came to him. We kept talking at that. This council chairman came to him, and he wanted to rerun, and he asked that with INEC, with what is happening in the party, who will sign your form, and all this rancor. So I think one of the fears too, or concerns for the PDP, people that are intending to run under the PDP, is they are scared of litigations and due processes with all that's happening. But also on the flip side, the PDP, they've also argued that, because you stated that you're talking about what has been happening in the PDP, the national secretary, also the chairman. Now, even the PDP, they've argued that even the APC, they also have their factions.
Yes. You cannot say
So the fingers, the PDP, the fingers that the APC are pointing at them, they are pointing it right back at the APC. So people are saying maybe there's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, just saying because of the rancor in the PDP, because even the APC, they are going through theirs as well.
Yes. You see, Ogaga, I like to tell you this for free, that apart from all that's been happening within the PDP, you see, you enjoy the other things that you also stand to benefit if you are on the safe side with the ruling party, most especially when it has to do with infrastructures. You understand? Because, for example, if I'm on your side, I would tend to give you a listening ears when you come to me as a governor to say, okay, I know you are well the same party, we belong to the same party, and I would always want to, support whatever you think as compared to the opposition.
Now it begs the question: is that democratic?
Yes, you see, that's a big one. Nigeria has gotten to a level where we are just driving a one-party
Which
rulership.
Yes. So, and if it's as though Nigeria are heading in the direction of a one-party state,
Yeah.
what does that portend for our democracy?
Yes, it's really not too good, because one, the opposition makes you stand tall. You understand? You see, it come with those days in this country where you had vibrant parties like UPN, NPN, NPP, PRP, and one or two of them like that. They had strong representations, even at the House of Assembly, House of Rep, and the Senate. But the way it is now, it is either you have 90% of the ruling party owning the House of Assembly, owning the House of Rep, owning the Senate. We have gone past that issue where it was, the House of Assembly can have five different parties, and the ruling party can just over-number them with just 2 or 3 members.
And now some persons have argued, even though the presidency has responded, some persons have argued that the defections to the APC that have been seen in recent times is as a reason of coercion. That these so-called persons, they were left with no better option than to defect because of allegedly witch hunting. Yes, witch hunting. For example, if you consider the case of Delta State, the former governor of the state has been invited a couple of times by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. So, and when you also consider what's happening in Rivers State, that's also a PDP governor. And look at what happened there, and the state of emergency. So they are looking at it. If a sitting governor can be unseated, somebody that was democratically elected can be unseated on the grounds of insecurity, and chaos, and some persons can argue that worse things are happening in other states.
Yeah,
When you consider what is happening in is it Benue State, when you consider what's happening in Plateau State, so they're saying and state of emergency is yet to be declared there.
yeah.
So they are saying that this could be a form of coercion. There could be a form of coercion that these persons that are jumping ship would not have come out to say categorically, but they are doing it. So I don't know. It's still the question is. I hope, and we don't lose our democracy for in a dispensation of a president that once upon a time was said to have fought for democracy. It won't go down well in history.
You see, I don't want to preempt issues, but we are in a state of smiling and suffering, in this country, and that is why you can be a PDP member this morning, and when you wake up, you are the PC member. You understand? But to be very candid with you, it is not too good for our democracy, because the opposition, if you don't have an opposition, you will just assume that everything is, But then, it is not yet Uhuru. It's not yet El Dorado, because you and I are the voters. But then the question is, do our votes really count?
Another question.
In this country, because and to me, man, we just go to the polling units and just make up the queues. Votes don't count in this country. Votes don't count in this country.
Oh well,
Somebody can just wake up one morning and be in charge of INEC, and it is the INEC that is the umpire that can say, okay, I want to favor X, Y, Z.
Well, in fairness to the presidency, the special advisor to the president, Mr. Bayodunga, came out and said that those defecting to the APC did that out of their own free will. Yes. So
they were not coerced.
Yeah, they were not coerced. That's what he said.
Yeah,
and
they were not coerced.
That they believe in the reforms of the president and all of that.
Yes. So it's a big one for Delta State, because if you ask me, the president's wife is from Delta State, and I'm sure she also played a role and said, okay, if the dividends must come to my place, I have to talk to my brothers. You understand? And the brothers can say, okay, mommy, well, I've listened to you. Okay, on that grounds, okay. But the truth be told, you see, we stand to benefit by this arrangement, because the renewed hope is for a more agenda.
Yes, so that's what Mr. Nyako has said, that they considered what would benefit Deltans when they considered the more agenda and the developmental strides of the governor, His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori, and they saw that to support this and do more was to align with the party at the center, the All Progressives Congress. So that's part of the reason.
And for me, if you can't beat them, then you join them. But I see a more vibrant democratic structure by 2027. It's going to be a flow of realignment. But my unhappiness too also is that with this collapse of structures coming together, many people will have to be dropped.
That's another thing.
For realignment.
People are saying, okay, there might be a cabinet reshuffle.
Yeah, definitely. Political appointments and all of that will be stepped down, because also we're going to be experiencing what we call political horse trading. You understand? I give you, you give me. Even if the governor is going to be the leader by virtue of the fact that he is an APC governor, and the APC governor of any state is the leader of the party at that point.
Yes. Okay, so I think we can move away from this and
No, because it's big. That's what's happening in Asaba today.
Mm.
As I speak with you, we're going to be doing
A live
a
relay.
live relay of what's happening. We're expecting the vice president to be in town as I speak. The chairman of the party, Ganduje, Alaji Ganduje, is in town. The chairman of the governors forum, Popozodima, is in town. Virtually all the governors who are APC is a mega rally. And today you are going to see brooms everywhere.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yes.
And you know, Delta are not the carry last at all. Anything we do is a carnival, it's a
Yes.
jamboree. It's going to be beamed live on some of our national, so that even those in diaspora will also know that. Yes, for the first time since 1999, you know, unbroken democracy back to back.
But the truth is, we must give the President Bola Tinubu his flowers. Whether hate him or love him, he's doing his politicking very well. Because this is like, I don't think we've had it this way before in a long time, that even governors that are yet to come out categorically to say, okay, I am joining the APC, are supporting him.
Yeah, they have indicated their interest.
You see the likes of Governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Yes, Pastor Ono. The only person that has not come out yet is Soludo, Charles Soludo. But I know by the side, he's also appreciated.
So,
No, Tinubu is somebody, for me, you know, because of, we're also domiciled at a point. I've always been a Tinubu boy, you know, right from time, I've been sure. You know, so it was just by a change of location, we found ourselves there and all of that. But Tinubu is a leader. We call him the Alaga, that is the chairman, you know, of the boys. You know, way back then. You know, and today, we're seeing him doing what he knows how to do best.
yeah, so you must give it to him.
Yes.
So, and I think that other politicians, they should, I'm not saying, they should take a cue, as it were, because I don't know all the things he's doing to get these persons on his side, but I'm just saying that you need the support of the people to remain in power. So you have to do right by the people. That's my emphasis, basically. You have to do right by the people.
That's right.
Beyond those occupying political offices, you have to also do right by the people, because in all fairness, in democracy, when it's being done the right way, the power still belongs to the people. That's the truth. The power still belongs to the people. So, irrespective of the party you belong to, you are there to serve the people. And if you must retain your office probably for a second term, you have to serve the people right.
Yes.
You have to serve the people right.
I think that's what Tinubu is doing, because when you look at the caliber of people around him, these are not just main men. They are not just ordinary by the side men. These are men who, if it's cash, if it's the money. Tinubu knows how to look at Tompolo, for example, another mega millionaire. All of them are Tinubu's boys. Kubanas, here and there. Do you understand? They're all Tinubu's boys. You know, and Tinubu has a way of, you know, actually carrying you along, because he exposes you, he allows you, but he's a silent operator. You know, he speaks less.
So, when you say carrying people along, people can argue that, is it really carrying the masses along, or is just carrying the politicians along?
It's the entire process. It's the entire process, because he cannot do it all alone.
True.
Do you understand? He has a retinue of lieutenants that are supposed to now drive the process for him. Do you understand? If he has good intentions, look at what's happening with the student loan facility and all of that. He has good intentions. How many governments at their various points brought it in? And I know if Tinubu has his way, he would introduce free education. You know, because that's where he belongs to. You know, by virtue of his upbringing, training and background, after learning from the likes of Awolowo and Co.
What do you mean if he has his way? He's president, so what
Yes,
can get
yes,
in his way?
yes, yes. So the Nigeria is such a large country now. You might not be able to single-handedly drive the process. You understand? And say, okay, I want to introduce as part of my manifesto. You understand? But one area that I want him to look at, you should look at the area of shelter, housing, because that's one area now that is, humongous in the sense that the cost of owning a house now not that easy. So many of people will still remain tenants for a long time. So if they can control that process of tenement rate, I think it will go a long way too.
Also, electricity, and he also promised while campaigning for the 2023 elections. He said that he was going to ensure stable power supply, and he said that if he doesn't do that, then he shouldn't be voted for during the second term.
For electricity, it's not doing too badly too.
In Asaba.
Because it's just, but at least it needs to be better. There are some days those days, many years back, those days, right? 4 days, 5 days, no light. Many years back, 4 days, 5 days, no light. Because NEPA are died literally. You understand? But now, at least for every 2 days, you will have light. At least pump water. For every 2 days, you have light. Even if they don't give you for 24 hours, they just shed, load shedding.
Truth is, our power supply can be much better. That's the truth. And when you also consider that of recent, the Aso Villa, that considered is 10 billion naira for solar energy, but Aso Villa and the common man, and we have this Minister of Power, Adelabu, Adebayo Adelabu, talking about vandalization of this, and talking about the different bans and increments in tariff and all of that. I think there's still a lot to be desired of our power sector. And also, the NLC, I don't know where they are in the picture, because the NLC, they are another organization that, honestly, in this dispensation and administration, I've not seen their relevance at all. A few days ago, I was just thinking to myself, when I looked at the data rates, the price, it's like, was it not the same NLC that came out after, I think it was initially these network providers, they came and said we're going to do 100%. Yes. And the NLC came and they said, no, 50%, or I think even at the time they were pressing for like 35%, and they gave an ultimatum and all of that. I'm like, but it's almost as though every month or every 2 months, even the prices go up. Because even as at then, the rates that the network providers were giving to us, and compared now, the rate now is higher. That's so right. Where is the NLC? Where are they? Yes, what are they saying about this?
You're absolutely correct, because I realized that too. That when I load my data, before I could even make 1 or 2 punches.
So it's terrible. When and we're talking about voices of opposition being, I will not say being silenced, but they are reducing.
Yes.
They are reducing.
That's correct.
Then the unions are supposed to come out and speak. We can't hear their voices. Electricity tariff, different bands, data tariff and airtime and all of that. The rates are not favorable to the common Nigerian. And we're not having people speaking up, and the opposition voices are becoming fewer and fewer. So I'm wondering what is becoming of Nigeria, honestly. What's becoming of Nigeria?
Well, we hope that someday, sometime, the beautiful ones are the ones I want to say they are born now. But then, we do hope that one day, we will come out of this political quagmire whereby the people will be suffering and smiling. All right, this is where we'll drop our particular trending discourse this morning, because This is the major for our show this morning. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll look at what the dailies are actually saying, and we'll get to our guest corner. Monday's edition of the program, Morning Live. Stay with us right now.
If tanker wey carry fuel fall or pipe wey carry fuel for underground burst, wetin you go do? You go begin bail fuel put for your bucket, or you go run comot far for where the fire go soon come. Na only small time you get to take this wise decision. Waka comot, no, that one no dey enough. Shift, no, that one no dey enough. Stay there dey gist and take pictures with your phone. That na madness. Run, yes, run comot. Yes, your life depend on wetin you do. The fire go come at once and you no go fit control am. Why? Petrol dey catch fire easily. Why? Na just small spark go start big fire. So no stay there dey think. Run comot quick to save your life. No throway your life away because of say you wan pack petrol. Take this advice. This informate
na from Public Enlightenment Office, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba.
One of the states in Nigeria that takes governance seriously is Delta State. While Governor Sheriff Oborowori leads from the front with his surprise inspections, his commissioners are also on the field to ensure every project delivers value.
If you have a problem in the field, you must take it as a serious matter.
It's a good thing that the commissioner came to inspect.
We are not only interested in just building roads where people will pass, we're also interested in creating an environment that is livable.
This is one of the biggest jobs here in the Abraka roads. The project is not taking time. We are fast on it. The governor of Delta State is doing a great job.
We appreciate the governor for awarding the contract and the project.
Sheriff, we appreciate his work. We wish him to continue like that. And whenever he comes up again, the community will vote for him.
Delta is a coastal state, so before the rain comes, we do management of all the drains. Find out that some persons have turned the drains into dump sites. We're coming hard on them. The drain is strictly meant for stormwater.
This to a large extent shows that in Delta State, governance is full-time commitment.
Alpha Delta people, in less than 22 months, Governor Oborowori don show say im promise not be plenty talk wey dey full basket, not be cho. With im more agenda, meaningful development, opportunity for all, realistic reforms, and enhanced peace and security, progress don burst out everywhere. E don upgrade over 500 roads, initiate over 300 new ones, and build plenty bridges wey dey connect our communities.
Every day when I dey preach here, my spirit dey jump and morale dey high because this bridge never tell for worship. This sheriff talk well. Jesus Beckham is the high. Sheriff, yes.
For education, over 3,000 teachers and support staff don join, and schools don dey get better shine.
I really want to say the government have done a good job providing us with these new buildings because we lack lecture or we are grateful to the government.
For the health sector, 1 billion naira, you dey hear wetin I dey talk? 1 billion naira don burst out our health insurance. Hospitals don dey get better modern equipment and new health colleges don open. Every day, changes dey happen for Delta State. For agriculture, 1 billion naira intervention fund dey help our farmers to produce better food. Make we not begin to dey talk about empowerment sef wey dey sup for the state. Sheriff don touch over 250,000 lives for the state.
Our administration is fully committed to what government expected to do for its people, which is to empower them to overcome the challenges of life, enable them to achieve their full meaning of happiness.
Everybody no go lack for his life, his generation no go lack. As he remember me, remember my daughter today, make God remember her. It go come again, we still follow am again.
Our hard-working civil servants also dey enjoy support, and for our security agencies they don get 66 security vehicles when our governor don say make e enter the road, make e protect people for the street.
Thank you for the support that you have been giving to the police command and other security agencies in the state.
Okodo just dey go round every sector to make sure say everywhere palash. Make una know say this one na proof say Governor Oborevwori dey talk the talk, he dey do the work, and na man wey dey win award sef up and down.
We are giving you this award as the most all-inclusive governor of the year 2025.
Dis na sign say im dey bring hope and progress for every corner for Delta State. Make we join hands celebrate our leader wey truly dey make Delta State dey shine. The work never finish o, we go continue to dey do more.
that technical glitch. It's time now for us to review the different headlines across the newspapers. We have the Vanguard, the Punch, the Daily Trust, Nigerian Tribune, Daily Independent, the Guardian, Leadership, and the Matrix. Now we start quickly from the Vanguard newspaper, and the major headline here says, Tinubu to opposition, don't blame me for inability to manage your affairs. The rider says democracy not threatened in Nigeria. Still on the defections, Oborewori Omoagege battle for Delta APC leadership. We've got a couple of riders. Ex-Deputy Senate President insists his party lead. Interesting. Delta Governor, my leader, and this is credited to the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo. Shetima, Ganduje, 10 governors receive Oborewori Okowa today. And that's what I'll be giving you that update earlier. And another headline from the Vanguard, we must resist one-party state agenda. And this is credited to Akinola, Odikalu, and Jinadu, others. Outrage over World Bank's report on poverty in Nigeria as CSOs demand urgent actions. And we've got two riders. Stop playing politics with people's lives. Action 8 tells FG. It's a sobering picture for Nigeria, and this is coming from Adeyanju. And so the top strip of the Vanguard newspaper. OPay's scam alerts warns you before you make costly mistakes, and that's a headline for the subscribers of that mobile banking platform. Moving on to the next newspaper, The Punch. The lead here still on defections. PDP calls emergency meeting to halt Hurricane Tinubu, and two riders. The first, Nigeria not drifting to one-party state, coming from the presidency. APC welcomes Oborewori orders today. NDLEA seizes 1 billion naira drugs in 80-room hotel raid. You can get details of that story on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Heritage Bank, NDIC begins 46.6 billion naira payouts to top depositors. That's good news if you were or if you are a customer of Heritage Bank. Fitch upgrades Lagos, Kaduna, 2 other states investment rating. Ondo doctor orders face charges over abortion for 10-year-old victim. Federal government targets 70% local pharmaceutical production. And lastly, from the Punch newspaper, U.S. report calls out Nigeria's trade barriers, port corruption. Moving now to the Daily Trust newspaper. The major headline, 15 months after EFCC yet to release probe reports on Edu Sadia, and the rider experts play delay. Plateau communities pick pieces after deadly attacks. You can imagine a very, very sad one there happening in Plateau State. Federal government called to action over WHO Gavi's alert on disease resurgence. Weeks to common entrance exams, FCT teachers strike lingers. What is happening? Seems as though the strikes are back. Last week it was NIMET, and now we are having FCT teachers strike lingering. Hunger worsens in IDP camps as UN agencies cut operations. Kwankwaso's political future in limbo as defections rock NNPP. So, defections not just from the PDP, but also the NNPP. Gunmen kill 16 in Adamawa, Benue. Manufacturers battle for survival as energy cost rises. Away from the Daily Trust to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the screaming headline here: Tinubu's government making efforts to dismantle democratic foundations. Odin Kalu, Ojudu, Jinadu, 15 others won. The riders warn against country's march towards one-party state. We didn't fight to end military dictatorship only to enthrone civilian authoritarianism, they say. And the last rider to that story: Tinubu not building one-party state, and this is coming from the presidency. Ayo Adebanjo, a courageous leader, advocate of United Nigeria, Abure, this is coming from Abure, wrote Bible, NPF orders. And the rider: as Labour Party holds night of tributes for late elder statesman. Fitch upgrades Lagos, Oyo, Kaduna, Kogi to stable. And the rider Sanwo-Olu promises more action. 50 billion naira earned allowance. We didn't rely on money released on paper. ASU. IMF's 37% inflation projection. LCCI expresses concerns. Says nation's economy vulnerable to external shocks. And that is the rider attached to that story. Moving on to the top strip of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria targets single-digit inflation, job creation amid global uncertainty. And this is coming from the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun. I hope we get to that point where indeed our inflation is a single digit. And the last headline from the Nigerian Tribune: Nasima OPS worry over World Bank's 50% poverty projection for 2027. The rider offers short-term measures to reverse trend. I hope we can definitely reverse this trend, because half of the population of Nigeria sliding into poverty at 2027 is not news to look forward to. Next is the Daily Independent. The lead here says, new EU rules. Nigeria may lose $20 billion cocoa revenue in 3 years. Experts urge federal government on more concrete, consistent actions. Serap asks Zuckerberg Meta to pay $220 million fine or face legal action. To get details of that story, why Mark Zuckerberg is being asked to pay that huge sum of money, get yourself a copy of Daily Independent and turn to page 7. NDLEA rates Lagos hotel, recovers 1.042 billion naira illicit drug consignments. Crowds flock to tomb of Pope Francis as eyes turn to conclave. And this repeated headline: Fitch upgrades Lagos, 3 other states to stable. The rider Sanwo-Olu thanks Lagosians, promises more action. Visa restrictions to UAE cut passenger traffic on Emirates Airlines. The rider economy seat drops by 50%, say travel experts. And we have a photo speak here of the United Bank for Africa, UBA. And lastly, we still got about 3 headlines from the Daily Independent. Rights activists prefer solution to Rivers political crisis. You can get details of that story on page 6 of the Daily Independent. To the top strip now: Tinubu not weakening opposition for dismantling democracy. This is coming from the presidency. And lastly, from the Daily Independent, stakeholders canvass support for WASC customized exams. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper, where the lead says, solar panel import ban may trigger 150% price surge, worsen energy cost crisis. Current solar industry snapshot, and you see the photo speak there on your screen with the energy to the left and lights to the right, and you see a picture that depicts the sun at the middle and all of that. No cash above $10,000 must leave Nigeria without declaration, EFCC warns. Tom Polo endorses Tinubu for second term, says Fubara will return. Okay. Presidency, civil society clash over Tinubu's alleged one-party state agenda. Over 80 northern communities under ISWAP control, says group. Fulani herders get 48-hour ultimatum to leave Benue community. And away from that newspaper to the leadership newspaper. The lead concerns as 2027 campaign threatens governance. We've got three riders. Electoral Act prohibits public campaign before 150 days to election day. INEC wants. Politicians have abandoned governance, and this is coming from a group of lawyers. It's North Central's turn. This is credited to coalition. Pursue interests with decency, discipline, says governors, or say governors. And ISWAP controlling 80 villages in Borno, Benue, Plateau, this is credited to CRA. Gunmen kidnap 7 passengers in Kwara. When will the kidnappings stop? NDLEA recovers 1.042 billion naira illicit drugs. NLC cancels May Day celebrations in Rivers, Edo. Liverpool crowned Premier League champions. FCCPC, Zuckerberg must pay $220 million in fine, compensate victims. And lastly, from the leadership newspaper, defections, fix your party, presidency hits opposition. And the last daily we have for you today is The Matrix. The screaming headline, bloody weekend. Fresh attack leaves 10 dead in Benue. This is sad. God rider Boko Haram kills 14 farmers, 2 civilian JFT in Borno. When will these killings stop? I ask again. Runway repair. Keamu confirms reopening of Akanu Biam Airport today. Gale of defections. Why APC has become beautiful bride. This is coming from the presidency. The writers says accusations of authoritarianism baseless, exaggerated. Tinubu's reforms in interest of Nigerians. Unborn generation. Coalition only way to defeat Tinubu APC in 2027, and this is coming from Okonkwo. We have a photo speak of the Ogun State Governor Dr. Abiodun receiving the Distinguished Foreign Investment Network Visionary Leadership Award from the chairperson of FIN, Dr. Olayinka Fayomi, in recognition of the governor's unwavering commitment to fostering economic growth and attracting investment to the state. Baba officially introduces Natasha Osawari to his family in viral video. Away from that story, non-payment of $220 million fine. Sarah threatens to sue Zuckerberg, Meta. Senator Natasha reignites war with Akpabio with sarcasm-laden apology letter. To see that letter, you can turn to page 3 of the Matrix newspaper. Fitch upgrades Lagos, 3 other states to stable. To the top strip of the Matrix newspaper, NDIC commences payment of 46 billion naira dividends to defunct Heritage Bank depositors. And the last headline from the Matrix newspaper, which is from the world of sports. Liverpool clinch 20th EPL title as Man City book FA Cup final ticket. Can I head back to the studio? And those are the headlines from the dailies we have for you today here on Delta Television. You can do well to grab yourself a hard copy or go to any of their websites to check out the stories that interest you and get informed. It's the Monday's edition of the morning right here on Delta Television. We'll go for a break, and when we return, we have our guest already in the studio to take the interview segment. Please stay with us.
Alpha Delta people, in less than 22 months, Governor Borowori don show say im promise not be plenty talk wey dey full basket, not be cho with im more agenda, meaningful development, opportunity for all, realistic reforms, and enhanced peace and security. Progress don burst out everywhere. Im don upgrade over 500 roads, initiate over 300 new ones, and build plenty bridges wey dey connect our communities.
Every day when I dey reach here, my spirit dey jump, and morale dey high, because this bridge never tell for watch. This sheriff talk well. Julius Berger is the high. Sheriff! Ah, yes.
For education, over 3,000 teachers and support staff don join, and schools don dey get better shine.
I really want to say the government have done a good job providing us with these new buildings because we lack lecture halls. We are grateful to the government.
For the health sector, 1 billion naira, you dey hear wetin I dey talk? 1 billion naira don burst out our health insurance. Hospitals don dey get better modern equipment, and new health colleges don open. Every day, changes dey happen for Delta State. For agriculture, 1 billion naira intervention fund dey help our farmers to produce better food. Make we not begin to dey talk about empowerment sef wey dey sup for the state. Sheriff don touch over 250,000 lives for the state.
Our administration is fully committed to what government expected to do for its people, which is to empower them to overcome the challenges of life and enable them to achieve their full means of happiness.
Everybody no go lack for his life, his generation no go lack. As he remember me, remember my daughter today, make God remember her. He go come again, we go see follow him again.
Our hard-working civil servant also dey enjoy support, and for our security agencies, they don get 66 security vehicles when our governor don say make he enter the road, make he protect people for the street.
Thank you for the support that you have been giving to the police command and other security agencies in the state.
Ukodo just dey go around every sector to make sure say everywhere palash. Make una know say this one na proof say Governor Borowori dey talk the talk, he dey do the work, and na man wey dey win award sef up and down.
We are giving you these awards as the most all-inclusive governor of the year 2025.
Dis na sign say im dey bring hope and progress for every corner for Delta State. Make we join hand celebrate our leader wey truly dey make Delta State dey shine. The work never finish o, we go continue to dey do more.
Welcome back here to the morning right here on Delta Television. It's time now for our next segment, which is with our guest, an interview. And with me in the studio is an aide to the Delta State Governor and also a public analyst in the person of Mr. Tola Ajimsogbe. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
Welcome. And today's interview is on Governor Oborevwori and other PDP stakeholders joining the All Progressives Congress, the APC. Now, since last week Wednesday, when we saw videos circulating of the Delta State Commissioner for Works, Railroads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Onyago, and also a stakeholder and a chieftain of PDP in Delta State, talking about Senator James Manager, yes, his name was a little bit. So the James Manager and other persons. Now, it has been a flurry of reactions, and because Delta State used to be synonymous with the PDP, and now we started hearing slogans like Delta is APC. And I can even see your attire now. I'm seeing Asiwaju and Ukodo. So it shows that you have aligned. But my question for you is, what was your initial reaction to Governor Oborevwori's and other PDP leaders? Because it was not just the state governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori, that defected. He defected with the PDP structure of the state. So what was your initial reaction when you heard this, that the PDP in Delta State was now becoming the APC?
Yeah, it is actually expected, you know. I'll tell you a story. When you look at the PDP at the national level, sort of have this stress, I would call it stress, you know, on unmanageable stress, you know, in the case of national secretaries of the party, you know, going to litigations here and there, you know. At this point, it was obvious that things actually was happening badly to PDP. And of course, you cannot go to election under such a circumstance. So we knew, you know, that was this, it was not an individual, I think it was a collective decision that we should. So when you ask what's your reaction, of course, that was of joy. Sort of, you know, I was happy to see that. At least that it helped to sustain our structure. It helped to sustain the family called the old PDP, now in APC. It means that we have moved in unison to a structure, become a brother who still remain. We are only having some few from other side to join us and to enlarge our coast.
Okay, so when you say a movement of the structure, so are you saying that the APC Delta State chapter is now an extension of the old PDP? Or are you saying that in the nearest future, because now we still have like 2 years to the next election, don't you think that it's too early for you to think that the PDP cannot put his house in order before the next election?
You see, we are not gamblers. In gambling, you can be thinking of that. We are not gamblers, we are politicians. It got to a point that the governors have sat together with the party structure at the national level to see if they can find a midway, you know, to resolve the lingering crisis between the federal parties, and they refused to do this hypocrisy. Okay? And you cannot, when you say we start 2 years, elections start now, let me tell you. After an election, the next day, the other election preparation started. Your comments and next. When you say you have 2 years, it's not even enough to, if you don't, you're going to put your structure in order quickly. Because, you know, Sherry, for instance, if we were to be waiting for that one you are talking about 2 years after, maybe 6 months to go, and this crisis continue to linger there, and today you have this court give judgment here, this one is rightful secretary. Another week, another secretary is declared winner, and they are just fall back and forth. Before you know it, somebody will sign your nomination form, and that person will be considered what? Or the court will call that person illegal occupant. So,
okay, now you talked about the governors under the PDP meeting. I think it was just a week before this declaration of the PDP structure in Delta State joined
No,
the
no,
APC.
no, no.
It was about a week or 2
No,
weeks
no,
before
yeah,
that they came. No, they had a meeting. I'm talking about their most recent meeting. The governors under the PDP, they had a meeting, and the spokesperson, the major spokesperson that came out was the governor of Oyo State, Sheyi Makinde. He came out and he said that because they were considering there have been movements also in the PDP about coalitions, and the governor of Oyo State came out and said that the PDP governors have decided that there will be no coalition, and about a week later we are having a PDP governor that is part of that forum moving to the APC.
When you say that what do you mean? When you say that we not coalition, what do you think was talking about? The ideology then was that are we going to join the of course a coalition means that fusion, measure.
Yes.
Okay? Considering maybe merging with APC, I'm sorry, SDP. And the government said no, we cannot do that. Let me tell you, let me give a scenario here. In 2002, sorry, a meeting was held in Delta State here, where they said the southern governors must endorse a certain candidate. And I think political system, the equation changes, and of course, I think we pick a vice president ticket on that article. He was said to have betrayed the southern agenda. Is that not correct? Have you heard that story?
Yes.
Good. Now, moving to SDP that they were asking for them, that is the northern aspect of the PDP, we're not talking about coalition to move to SDP. The meaning of this is this, that SDP wants to get candidate of the northern agenda again. And if Sheriff had waited and joined that argument and moved to SDP, automatically you'll be fighting such agenda. It must this always be seen as a betrayal to other.
Okay, so you are the one putting in public space now. So you are saying the coalition would have.
That was
no, you are saying the coalition that probably would have been formed this time with PDP and any other party or other parties involved was likely to produce another
candidate. We are talking about SDP. I'm being exact. I'm not hiding the truth. I said the underground, underneath that current there was the issue of SDP. And that was having what? Having SDP candidates in view. Okay? The northern governors from the PDP extraction, we are talking about that. Let us move to coalesce. Let us fuse with SDP. And we said no. We said no. Because that will mean what? That will mean equally going to the old system where they saw Kwa betrayed the South. In this case, Sheriff have just said, look, I don't want to do anything like that again. Instead of collating to go and fight the South again, let me come to the Southern Track. It's better to err in your house. So you can be from outside.
No, okay. Now I'll come.
Err outside.
I'll come to the issue of betrayal, like you put it. So now one would think that the meeting of the PDP governors was to resolve part of the crisis happening in the PDP, and I would not have thought that the option is either form a coalition or defect to a party, another party. Because even the APC that the PDP has joined, are they not having their internal roundings? Are they not having their internal issues? Don't they have their factions?
When it has to do with issue of leadership crisis, there's somewhere on earth, even a family will have crisis. In the church, we have crisis.
I'm glad you know this.
Organ, when have to do the nucleus of an organization, it becomes what? Difficult. In this case, secretary of the party is highly involved and the party chairman. And there's been, you must be following up these court cases, Supreme Court today, High Court the other day, and like that. This man will win today, we win tomorrow, and you see, back and forth. And of course, the meaning of this, politically speaking, is this. At the end of the day, somebody will win nomination from and win election, but since judiciary has become what? Highly independent in Nigeria, we really cannot say we have judiciary that will give fair judgment. There's this people fear everywhere there. That you cannot count on them any longer. You might win election tomorrow and they say, oh, that man that signed your nomination form was not validly nominated. You are not validly nominated. But they said, so you lost your ticket. That's what it's going to look like. And to forestall all of this, to checkmate this, and to work, you must be proactive strategically in taking decision. We have been able to survive such two deadly. One, to say, Sheriff betrays South by working with Northern agenda. That one has been resolved with this defection. Two, that Sheriff wins the election. And somebody said, oh, the man that signed his form is not the right person. Therefore, he has lost the ticket. And therefore, he should step down from that person. We have been to solve that one too. So the defection he has been able to handle this complex situations and given us what opportunity to smile.
Okay, now for citizens and the electorate that has been following the trajectory in Delta State and have been loyal to the PDP, I'm talking about the electorate now, don't you think that they can see this as an act of betrayal? Like leaving the PDP that brought you into power. Because we must understand that the APC was at the center when the PDP still gave the sitting governor now his governorship ticket and gave him the state. He won it on the platform of the PDP. So now, talking about betrayal, don't you think that the loyal electorate to the PDP, we see this as a betrayal?
At all. Let me tell you what. Thank God you said defection began from the top and down to the unit level. What does it mean? It means that we are all in one accord.
Okay.
We don't have problems at all.
So what do you think this mass defection means for the APC ahead of 2027 in Delta State? Do you think it strengthens the APC, or it might also bring some certain level of rancor because they are founding members of the APC in Delta State, and now that the governor has gone there, inevitably he becomes the leader of the APC in Delta State?
I'm sure you are aware that meeting was held yesterday, okay, where the two organs met. Final result.
Final
Governor
result
is the leader of the party.
Yes.
Yes. Abu said that. The new party, our party, the All Progressive Congress, have come to stay. There is no old person or new person in the political party for Christ's sake. The very day you join the party, you become a member of that party. Congress will be held, okay? Party offices will be distributed. And of course, primaries will be held, where they will together bring up a candidate. The beauty of it all is that Delta is now in synergy, or is now in a straight accord with the federal system. Okay, the other day, long ago, when we were having PDP as president and governor of the state, people now say, oh, it really worked very well. We know why? Because of that flow of power, structure. Okay, you don't have to enjoy that. When they got to power, it was not like that. People now say, oh, power did not say Guaria, have a lot of these stories everywhere there. Why did not work to expectation? Why did not do this? All because there was this dislocation. With the current structure we have, the state had direct access to the federal system, making us what? Part and parcel of the policy interpretation of President.
So let me just read out this headline to you from the Vanguard newspaper. Defections. Oborewori Omo Agege battle for Delta APC leadership. And one of the writers says, ex-deputy Senate president insists his party leader. Meanwhile, another writer says, Delta governor my leader, and this is credited to the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo. So,
Keyamo said, Delta governor
is my leader.
Is my leader.
Meanwhile, Omo Agege is saying he is still the leader of the APC in Delta State. So this is what I'm talking about.
You see, just use your teeth to count your tongue. Or your tongue to count your tongue. Now, minister have said that Sheriff is my leader. Automatically in party politics, what they call presiding of government, when we are practicing, the president is the head of the party, the leader of the party. At the state level, the governor is the head of the party.
I'm not disputing that.
Now,
I'm talking about the rancor
that there is no rancor. Honestly speaking, you see, these are part of party politics. You just want to be noticed too. Okay? When he was a senior president or deputy senior president, he was a leader. Now he's not. He's just a party man. Okay? And the leader of the party today, as we speak in Delta State, is Sheriff Oborewori. And it has come to stay. The national leader structure of the party has already agreed with that. It has already been confirmed that is the de facto leader of APC in Delta State. So bringing, you see, just sensational headlines. If you look at it very well, if you even read it, it might not be the exact story there. Because I know very well too that they went to meet Sheriff to go and greet him and was happy to see him. He knows definitely that as a governor, he's a politician, he's a lawyer. He knows that by that standard, he coming to APC, he automatically become a leader. If he had been having that skepticism or that fear or that I will not agree, he cannot be my leader, he wouldn't have gone to greet and welcome Sheriff to the party. He went.
So how might this political realignment affect ongoing PDP-led projects and policies in Delta State and the country?
The more agenda that we are working on in our state here is not having ties to any organization per se. It is the policy document of the governor, and it will be interpreted the same way it is being done.
Even when also there will be cabinet reshufflement.
Has he told you it's a cabinet? You are just here dreaming your own or what?
So will there be a cabinet?
The governor is the leader of the party and is free to do that. At any point he wants to do that, and so that he's going to reshuffle cabinet does not make that. If for instance, if you are picked as commissioner for a commissioner, can't you work? Won't you work? Are you a data?
I am.
If you are picked now, are you saying you cannot interpret policy as regards the commission?
No, I'm not talking about. I'm just saying that this will not affect the policy.
It has no way. There's no way to affect. It is interpretation of document, policy document. They are already written. You go there, you pick it up as a commissioner. If tomorrow you are picked to commissioner for you pick document up there. What is agenda talking about in this, and you interpret it and implement it. Yeah, it has nothing to do with a party or no party. It's not tied to PDP. It's a man's dream. It's policy statement, and it will be interpreted by anybody that is picked to work in that capacity. If it's on leave, for instance, now, his deputy governor will interpret and work with it too.
So now, when you consider the Nigeria and the political climate and the political parties, it begs the question: if the political parties run based on ideologies or politicians just down to the tune of their gains.
You see.
So now, because if you are telling me that someone from a former political party, the People's Democratic Party, can just move to the APC and when you say it doesn't affect anything, so because from what I'm hearing you say, it's like the APC is like a means to an end for the governor to achieve his more agenda. Now, but when you look at
the
it,
more agenda has been existing before the coming of APC. And so it's already a policy that's already in the state here. It is not the APC that will make it to work for him. Not the PDP that is making it to work for him. It is the policy of the man's ideology that is trying to interpret from deltas to sea.
Okay.
And
So,
it's using to construct road. It's using to activate projects. It's using to do all of those things.
so apart from maybe standing a chance to being re-elected in 2027, what other benefits does the APC bring
Yeah,
for,
you see,
to
there is
to the state
one very
or to the
special,
governor?
very very special gain the state will gain from this alignment, this current defection, is that we will have direct policy alignment between this state. Unlike when we are PDP and they are APC, in most cases we don't even belong to a lot of there are things they do that we are not aware. But at this point in time now, Sheriff will be aware of all that is happening at that level, at the national level. And of course that means that where the state need to key in and pick from, it cannot it's going to be easier for him to key in and pick from. So deltas, and from that point, deltas will enjoy so much of it.
Okay, so let me get you clearly. When you say when the state was PDP and the center is APC, there are certain things that can anything happen in the state that the governor will not be aware of, irrespective of
for instance
party differences.
For instance, of course, there are things.
Like
yes, take for instance, you see, for instance, when the governors forum, for instance, they have progressive governors forum, like APC governors forum,
yes,
and they want to go and talk to the governor on some things that felt to affect the governors. Okay, they will not call Sheriff at that point in time.
Because that's a party thing. But if they want to,
and in most cases, they want to influence policies that will affect, but you are not there. They want to influence unity as governors, to influence policy of government, to influence some things to their states, but you are not there. Okay? But now, the governor will always be there. And he will be able to ask for that, and to equally maybe help to, amend their statement or add to it or reduce from it, provided it will favor deltas.
Okay. Now, yes, so you're trying to drive home the point for deltans to see how this alignment will favor them. Now, but doesn't this pass as a vote of confidence for the same APC government the PDP has criticized in the past?
Let me tell you, in this state, there have never been a time that we actually say, you see, we have not actually criticized APC as a government, as a national government. We have not done that at all. We have not done that at all. You could just take your mind back, go to your Facebook and see because of the governor and all of it. There has not been a time somebody would say we are criticizing APC. The policy of Mr. President.
But the spokesperson I'm not even just talking about I'm not just talking about this administration from the Buhari time. That was APC.
It was the policy of Buhari that we were attacking, not the party.
It was still
the policy of Buhari. The policy of Buhari I'm talking about here now. The policy of Buhari.
Okay, but you are saying that
we are not saying the APC. You see, now you are talking about Sheriff defection now. You are looking at you are looking at Sheriff himself. You are asking what will it be any gain. When you talk about the policy of Buhari we are attacking there. I was foundation about APC, for instance. I left because the policy of Buhari was becoming too, anti-progress.
But the policies of Tinubu, they are good policies.
Yes. You see, let me tell you one thing. When you look at people cried about the first subsidy. Okay, that's a general statement of the country.
Yes.
At a point, I do myself too. But again, I've been able to see too that like those days where you queue for hours to look for fuel. Now we don't do that again. Something has been discovered. And you see prices now down every day now. At times it's 18 naira, at times, 900 naira, at times it comes down like that. It shows that thing is actually yielding results. It was like what happened during when the Obasanjo came and removed IT, what do you call it, telecommunication, that brought in MTN, Econet, and what do you call it that time. You get the point now. Where SIM was being sold, I bought my first SIM at 9,000 at that time. Today is less than the 1,000 naira, or if people pay for it at all. You see, those things, yes, at the initial stage, because of one thing in the world is change management. And in all sphere of life, when you introduce change, people must cry because people hardly want to be changed.
But,
And
but the figures are there because of time. Let's run, because when you look at the inflation rate too. But last
you see, the inflation rate. If you look at it, look from America, for instance, the so-called father of democracy on earth here. If you look at it in the last 2, 3, 4 months, the inflation has gotten so high up there.
Because of policies. Also, okay.
No,
lastly, before I let you go,
world, not actually corporate, the president there anyway. I think it has to do with
because of time. Just lastly, now there are rumors of oppositions being coerced into joining the APC. Is that that they were forced or they have been blackmailed, coerced to join the APC? Is that the case in Delta State? And what are your thoughts on this generally?
No, I've explained to you. I say we join APCs because our party at the top level, we are having crisis there. And
so that's all.
Unmanageable point. That's why. That's
because there were also allegations.
It has something to do with coercion.
And also the former governor being invited by the EFCC has nothing to do with all of that.
No. I've not told you that's actually what happened.
Okay.
It has to do with the former governor.
All right. So, lastly, your last words. What will you have to say to Deltans that is skeptical about this alignment?
Yeah, they should just know that Sheriff is not just deceiving them. He's going to the top to get his back or more than before. So actually we should expect more dividends of democracy now that we are now at the national level. So just support Sheriff, support his policy. It will be better for all of us.
All right, thank you. You've heard it from the aides to the governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oberoi, and also a political analyst, Mr. Tola Ajumosobe, here on the show on Governor Oberoi and other PDP stakeholders joining the APC. So he said this realignment is for the benefit of you, a Deltan, and also a resident in a Delta state, for more developmental strides by the more agenda of the Governor Sheriff Oberoi-led administration. It's still the morning right here on Delta Television. We'll go on a break, and when we return, it will be our last interview. Please stay with us. Here on Delta Television. It's time now for our next interview. Away from politics, this has to do with a lifestyle and your health, because I've got a pharmacist with me in the person of Gregson Idibofu, and we'll be shedding a light, shining the spotlight on choosing the right supplements for your age and a lifestyle. Good morning, Farm Idibofu. How are you doing?
Good morning. It's nice to be here again.
Okay, so tell us, quickly, what are supplements?
All right, so just as a continuation from our last discussion, as the name implies, supplement.
Yes.
Something just use it to supplement, augment.
Supplement
your daily
what?
nutrients.
Okay,
Yes,
your
yes,
daily
so
nutrient.
Daily nutrients. So because we are so busy, some persons may not have time to get the right kind of nutrients from their daily food intake.
Okay.
But when you take supplement, most of these supplements, they have all these other nutrients that you need, all compounded. Some of them, they have multiple what's it called, nutrients or so embedded in one. So you take them, it makes up for your daily intake of the nutrients.
Okay.
But even apart from that, too, because of that, people also it's open to abuse. Because we always recommend as the first line that you must eat well, because healthy eating is even better than supplementation.
Okay, so the supplement is not a substitute for food.
It is not. So eat well, you get most of these nutrients. But when you don't have time to eat, or you feel, or rather you can't get all the nutrients from your daily consumption of food, then you can do supplementation.
Okay. Now, what factors, because we are considering right supplements in relation to age and lifestyle, so what factors should people consider when choosing supplements tailored to their age and lifestyle?
All right, so I'll come from the angle of the age first. For the age, as one ages, some of your organ system functions will begin to deteriorate. So it's also cause for you as a person now to not be mindful of the kind of supplements you take, because most of these supplements, eventually, some of them they also pass through the liver, they pass through the kidneys. Some of them will accumulate in the liver, some will not accumulate in the kidneys. So for persons that are, the older the person is, the lower the function of all these organs, like the liver, the kidney. So you must be mindful of the supplements you take, mindful of that because of your age, your liver, your kidney function, they are reduced. So a supplement that a younger person like us will take may not be so good for an elderly person because of the liver function. Same goes for younger children. The extremities of life, you must be careful of what you use at a very young age and at very old age. So those are two factors. That is one. Then the other thing you mentioned was the lifestyle. Fine. So our lifestyle also matters a lot for people that are very sedentary. People that don't they hardly move around. They're not active. People that are sedentary, there are also supplements that they can use. While for those that are very active, like those that are gym customers, every now and then they are very active. There are also supplements that they can also use. Because the fact that you are active means that there are certain things that you don't even use. You look for that to use them.
Okay, so now when we talk about supplements and lifestyle, how does one know? For example, we talked about they help augment nutrients in the body and all of that. So can I just look at myself and say, okay, I think of late my meal has been lacking protein or lacking iron, so I go and just get an iron supplement or a supplement that has protein and iron, or it ought to be prescribed.
Okay, yeah.
Because I cannot tell from my knowledge of classes of food, I can know that okay, I've been lacking protein. I'm gonna be taking iron. I just go, I'm like, okay, can I have this supplement, or it should be something that has to be prescribed?
Yes, that earlier on I mentioned abuse.
Yes. Good.
So that is where this abuse comes in now. People can just walk into any pharmacy and they will ask to get supplements. If a pharmacist, or rather you don't meet a pharmacist also there, because if you meet a pharmacist, I'm sure it's going to tell you one or two things about the supplement.
Okay.
So, but if you don't meet a pharmacist, or you are buying from online stores, I'm going to come to that. Buying from online stores with all their frivolous claims, you buy and you use, and at the end of the day, you begin to suffer side effects. Now, the fact that they are supplements, we use them to augment our nutrients, doesn't mean that they are so good though. At certain doses, at set toxic doses, they can cause harm to your organs. So even something as basic as the vitamin A, the fat soluble vitamins that vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, your vitamin K's, they are good for the system. But if taken in excessive doses, they can cause harm to your system. The vitamin A that for sure that helps with eyesight and the rest of them, if you take it excessively, it can lead to birth defects for women of childbearing age. It can lead to reduce the bone strength All these are side effects. But people that sell this thing to you for commercial reasons, they may not tell you this. So that's why, like you said, you asked, it's important that you speak to your health professional, speak to your pharmacist, speak to your doctor and other relevant health professionals before you commence using any supplement. And again, another thing is if you are using any medication for any ailment, it's also important that you address your pharmacist and your doctor or any other relevant medical practitioner before you commence the use of any new supplement because of the problem of side effects.
Can supplements be addictive?
Well, it depends. There are some that can be addictive. An example is Kava. Kava serves to change mood, improve mood. Anything that has to do with mood can be addictive.
And that is a supplement?
It's
so
an herbal supplement.
What nutritional benefit does it
provide? That's what I said. The benefit it provides is to balance your mood. It makes you feel well. So, and it's just like, it's a natural, it's a plant, simple plant, like in the pepper family. But people take it, you can make it in form of tea. In fact, basically in form of tea. You take them, for those that are depressed also, you can use them to boost your mood and also. But at the same time, because it has to do with mood, it becomes addictive. And once it becomes addictive, people begin to use them at toxic doses. And when you use them at toxic doses, they cause problems to the human body.
Okay, so can we now, even before I ask you this question, if it can be addictive, you've touched on some of the negative effects. Now, what are the benefits of supplements if rightly taken?
Okay.
And on what condition are supplements prescribed? You're a pharmacist. On what conditions? Should it be self-prescription? Maybe I go to the hospital and the doctor tells me I'm deficient in this, I need to eat well, then I go and look up, or it must be prescribed by the doctor.
Okay, fine. So that prescription aspect of it is very important. Although what we have in the society now is that people can just go online, you Google what supplements for memory boost, supplements for performance, and they will give you a wide range of options, and you just go and buy and take. Now, what you will not get from those online vendors is the right dose you can use for them. Of course, they will write on the bottles, take one daily or take 2 daily. But that doesn't mean that dose is going to be a general dose for everybody. Like you mentioned, age, lifestyle. Age and lifestyle will determine whether the person can take the same. I'll give you an instance of, I don't know if they still do it, one herbal supplement, then serendipity. I've not seen it in a while. Right? You must have heard it before. When it first came out then, when it was the hype around it was so high, was so strong, and it's a good one, it's a good product actually. But on the container is written 4 daily. But there are people that took 4 daily and they came down with severe side effects. Now for such persons, what they did was to now reduce to 1 daily or 2 a day, or maybe 2 every other day. So that is why you get what I'm trying to explain, that it must not be the dosing you have on the container must not be a general dose for everybody. That is why you still need to see your pharmacist, talk to your doctor. Then again, if it has been established that as a person you lack some nutrients, that you need to supplement it, well, the first thing the doctor or pharmacist will tell you is just try and eat well. Like in my practice, I always tell you, if you need iron and the rest of them, please try to get vegetables first. Okay. Eat vegetables, all those lettuce, eat them. They also give you that very good sources of what is your minerals and vitamins. But in the case where you cannot probably get them, probably feel like the time to prepare them and the rest of them, so okay, I can recommend some supplements, then give you the right dose to use for the supplement. Then we also tell you that this is because of using this, if you feel this way, discontinue or call our attention to it. Because for one, something like iron, we know people say iron for blood. As simple as it stands, iron can actually cause GIT problems, stomach upset and the rest of them. And in severe cases, it can cause coma and even death. That is iron for you. So that is one thing. Then other ones like something as basic as ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo for memory, used for improving the memory. Mostly elderly people also they use that for. But see that ginkgo contains, there was what we call ginkgo toxin, which have very, very damaging effect on the human body too, if taken in toxic doses. And some other ones. As far as chinase, I'm just mentioning some of them. You may not remember these names again, but I'm just giving chinase that is used to boost the immune system. I'm just giving the benefit and the side effects that can occur. drugs that are used to boost the immune system, basically. If you take them too much, you can also, instead of boosting your immune system, they will cause allergic reactions, cause asthma attacks, as the case may be. But usually when you boost your immune system, the allergic reactions are supposed to reduce ordinarily. But when you take this product in excessive doses, it will cause allergic reactions. That's just more what we call rebound effect.
So prescription should
Very
not
important.
be swept under the carpet.
It should never be swept under the carpet.
Okay. So now, can you share with us some common myths and misconceptions about supplements?
Okay, so for the myths, misconceptions, people believe that supplements are, you can use supplements to replace your diet. It can never happen. It can never happen. That's why it is called supplement. Whether it is dietary, whether it is herbal, it is just that. So you cannot replace food. All right, so another misconception people have about supplements is that you can use supplements to replace normal medications. Of course, there are some supplements that serve as that can be used to manage certain ailments like arthritis, osteoporosis, where you can use your calcium and vitamin D. Okay. But that doesn't mean that they can take the place of your regular medications in managing these conditions. Of course, you can use them as an adjunct in managing those conditions, but they cannot replace those other medications. That is one. Then a third misconception about supplements is that because it is called supplements, they prepare them mostly from natural sources, then they are safe for consumption. That's a big lie. It's a very big lie. Oh, tell you this one is natural, this one is made from plants. It's a big lie. Because one challenge we're having in the pharmaceutical space is that for most of these other supplements that several claims have been made about, some of them are not standardized. You may just get a cup of supplement, tell you this one is a memory boost. You check the ingredients, you see Ginkgo biloba, you see this, you see that. Then you take it and use. Now the thing is, those companies are not regulated in the country. And for some of them, you may not even know where they are. They will tell you they manufactured in the USA and they come from Turkey or from any other place. And you take them because they are packed in fanciful bottles. Now, the claims they make under this thing, you cannot verify them. You tell that this one contains 300 milligrams of this. It's possible that one contains 1,200 milligrams of that supplement. Okay. But you don't know.
So are you saying that before Nigerians ingest any supplement, they should look out for the NAFDAC number? Or supplements?
Yes, fine. There are some supplements that will come with NAFDAC registration numbers. While for the bulk of them, they don't come with NAFDAC registration numbers. But what we look at is the country of manufacture.
And it's okay to take supplements
that
don't have NAFDAC registration
numbers. Not really. I won't advise that. Advise that. But the truth is that not all supplements will come with NAFDAC registration number. But what we try to promote is for people to use only medications that have NAFDAC registration.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some other brands that they don't have. You won't see NAFDAC number on their containers, but I think as a company or as a company, they are registered with NAFDAC. But I will not recommend that anybody goes to that because as a lay person, you may not know which is which. That's why I will tell people that what you should just to be on the safe side, go for only those with NAFDAC registration number.
So what's the best way to integrate supplements into a daily routine?
Well, the best way to integrate it, first and foremost, is to have information from a pharmacist, from a medical doctor, or in some cases from a dietitian, or any other relevant Once you get information from them, they can better advise you on what to do and what not to do. For For example, we can ask you what are your normal diet like? So I do say, do you eat this? Do you eat vegetables or fruits? I don't like it. There are some people that don't like vegetables. They tell you that what they take it gives them stomach upset. So for such person, that's okay. Just to cover for that, what you could have gotten from vegetables, you can take the supplements to augment.
Okay. How long should someone take a supplement before expecting to see results? Or it is relative, depending on the supplements?
Yeah, it's relative actually. There are some supplements that you can just take it, it becomes a routine thing for you. You just take them like that, you understand? But while there are some other supplements that they are timed, they tell you if you take this one between now and the next 3 months or so, you expect that you should get this result or so. If after that period given, you don't get that result, then you can always get back to the prescriber to give a feedback.
Okay, so what role do supplements play in supporting a plant-based or vegan diet?
Well, for most supplements actually they are natural products. Most of them are from plants. The cover I mentioned is plant, the China says the plant. Even if you cook over the get the extracts are from plants. So if I even going by that vegan or plant-based diet, supplements actually play a very good role. But just the only thing we should not be mindful of is the control, so that people don't overstep while using the supplements.
Okay, so let me talk a little about something that relates to people like me. Are there specific supplements that help with stress?
Yes.
Sleep, mental clarity for busy professionals?
Yes, they are. They are very good supplements for that.
Without side effects?
Of course. Like
I said, if they fall in line with the prescription.
Exactly, yes. Without side effects. If you use them as prescribed, within the normal daily dose or so, then you shouldn't be expecting any side effect. And of course, if you don't combine them with other medication, because some of the supplements they react with other medications.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's it. So there are supplements you can use. There are supplements that help with ashwagandha. That's just one name. Like I said, sorry, I've been mentioning some.
No, it's fine.
So all these are supplements that you can take for busy people like us, because I'm also busy. You take these ones, before you get to their B complexes. B complex. All these are vitamin D's. They also help with stress relief. Vitamin C. They also help you with stress relief. So all these ones at least you can take. Like what we recommend for people that are busy is that if you can't take any other one, when you get home in the evening time, you get vitamin C, this soluble vitamin C. The one that dissolve the water or the normal tablet, 1000 milligrams, dissolve the water you drink, and that covers for you. Then ginseng also helps a lot with stress relief and for busy professionals like you and I.
Okay, so even as we begin to wrap up, what is your advice for someone watching this right now that has probably had side effects from supplements or is considering taking this journey of supplements to augment their diet?
Okay, very simple advice. Whatever you take, is sure that you are getting the advice from professionals. That is one thing. One, if you buy supplements, check the seal, check the company, the country of production, check the registration details. If you want to go the extra mile, ask your pharmacist to confirm all these things for you. Then, if you can't do that, you can simply, some of these supplements, they come with barcode scanners. Scan for authenticity. If you scan and nothing comes up, then I will advise you don't touch. And again, before you commence, you commence the journey of supplementation. Be sure that you are not on any other medication. If you are on any other medication, or you have any other medical condition that you are taking medications for, then you should also consult with the pharmacist, consult with your doctor. They will better advise you on what and what not to do. Then if you are changing your supplements from one brand to another, also seek advice. Very important.
All right, thank you very much, Pharmacist Gregson Idibofu, for sharing your knowledge with us on choosing the right supplements for your age and a lifestyle. I really do appreciate your time. All right, that's it on the morning ride, and rounding off with what the pharmacist has shared with us. Of course, you need to get the right prescription. Do not self-medicate, do not self-help yourself regarding the topic of supplements. And remember, like he said, supplements are not substitutes. They are not substitutes for food. Do well to get the right prescription and augment your diet with supplements if need be. That's it on today's edition of the Morning Ride here on Delta Television. I do appreciate you for your time, and do not forget, in case you would love to be part of that event, join us on our different platforms, even as the Governor of Delta State, His Excellency the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, and the former PDP structure, will be received into the APC today, and that event is going on live at the Cenotaph. Will be relaying that to you on different platforms. On behalf of the production crew, it is I, Ogaga Ikama, thanking you so much for your time.
Indeed, Governor Sheriff's administration is committed to delivering impactful governance that will improve the lives of Deltans. Take a look at the inauguration of the Boji Boji Owa Mixed Modern Market, which was inaugurated some days ago.
The newly inaugurated Boji Boji Owa Mixed Modern Market, which includes a modern abattoir, is crucial towards improving economic activities and also stimulating innovation.
Governor Sheriff.
And because Governor Sheriff is dedicated to providing sustainable infrastructures, he has also encouraged that the facilities be given timely maintenance.
Governor Sheriff always concerned about the well-being of Deltans.
I even yourself say in line with the more agenda, opportunities for all. Say Governor Sheriff, he don't call for the redesign of academic curriculum